Okay, so first of all, I have here output from a computer model, and it is ozone concentrations for the whole of the world. Along the top, I have latitude coordinates going from minus 90 degrees to 90 degrees. Then down the side, I have both the months and the longitude coordinates, and they are going from minus 180 degrees to 180 degrees. Then when they reach that point, they go over into the next month and the longitude coordinates start again. And they do this for every month of the year ending in December. Now I want to represent this data using a heat map, and I also want the heat map to be dynamic so I can show 1 month at a time. I am going to do this using a filter formula. So I'm going to do equals filter. Then the array is going to be the whole of my table. So I am going to select the very first cell and do Control Shift right arrow and then Control Shift down arrow to select the whole table. Then I'm going to put a comma in here and I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Now what I want it to filter on is the months. So I am going to select the first value in the months column and do Control Shift down arrow to select the whole of this column. Then I am going to say that I want it to filter values that are equal to, then go back to the map sheet and say if they are equal to January, then close brackets and enter. And you can see it fills in the whole of this table. If I do Control right arrow, I can check that it is lining up correctly at the end. And if I do Control down arrow, I can check it is also lining up correctly at the bottom. I just want you to take a note of the fact that I did this just with one single simple formula. The filter formula really is excellent. What it is doing right now, it's looking in the whole of this table. And it is looking just for values that are equal to January. And then it's showing me all of those values. Now at the moment, this cell here is just plain text. So I'm going to change this into a drop-down list by going to Data and Data Validation and allowing only values from a list. And then my source is going to be this list of months here. And then enter and enter again. And now I have this drop-down list. And when I change the month, it also changes the numbers. And that is because this filter formula here is matching whatever is in this cell. And now I have got that set up. I am going to turn this into a heat map, and the first thing I'm going to do is to get rid of the headers by going to Home and Clear All. I was just using these to check that the table was the right size. Now I'm going to select the very first cell and do Control Shift right arrow and Control Shift down arrow to select everything, and I'm going to apply conditional formatting to this. I'm going to use color scales and then more rules. I want the lower values to be a light blue color and then the higher values to be a dark blue color, and OK. And now you can see it has colored in all of the cells, and the color is based on the value in that cell. Now, while I still have everything selected, I am going to go to number formatting, and I want to change the formatting so that the text disappears. And I can do this by going to custom formatting and changing the type to semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. So 3 semicolons will make the text invisible. And now you can see that we have just the colors left. Now, while I still have the whole table selected, I am now going to make all of the rows and columns really, really small so that I can see this massive table just on one screen. So I'm going to go to Format and Row Height, and I'm going to change this to 1 and OK. And you can see I now have loads of really, really small rows down the side here, 361 to be exact. I'm now going to do the same thing with the column width, and I'm going to make this 0.25 and OK. And now you can see I have the whole of this table just on one slide, so I can see it all together. Now I'm going to do a couple more things to make this look a little nicer. I'm going to go to View and remove the grid lines, so this is all white now. And I'm also going to get rid of the row and column headers. I can do this by going to File and Options and Advanced. Then if I scroll down, there is an option here, Show Row and Column Headers, and I'm going to untick this and go OK. And now you can see the row and column headers have disappeared. If we go back to one of the other sheets, you can see it hasn't affected the other sheets. The grid lines are still here, and so are the row and column headers. It has only changed this sheet here. And now I can use my drop-down list to select different months of the year, and I can see how ozone concentrations change over the course of a year. So in this video, I have shown you how to make a heat map in Excel, and that is everything.